Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I want to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about when the enemy says, you're the only one that understands me. This is bullshit. But it's one of their favorite lines to use. You are the only one that understands me. What's weird about this saying and when they say these things is like, if I was... and if we was the only ones that understood you, why the fuck don't we have a better relationship? If I understood you and we understood you better than anybody else, why don't we have a better relationship? Why is the communication not healthier? Why is our energy not meshing better together? You know, why are we not building in the same direction together? You know, it's always these weird ass emotional responses, kind of statements that they make to try to make it seem like they care, or like to make it seem like they know the level that you fuck with them on. To a certain extent, they do know the level that you fuck with them on. That's why they're able to keep trying the same tactics. But what happens is when you're with the opposition, you're not allowed access to certain frequencies. You know, it's like being on this tree behind me. You know, you got a limb right here, but you don't have access to the other tree branches and limbs that's a little bit higher up. You know what I'm saying? So, like, example, because y'all know me, I had my when I had my daughter, we swap on Thursday, so I'm actually, this is my week without my mini now. But when my mini was first started her week with me last Thursday, not the one that just passed, last Thursday, her mom had the nerve to like hit me because she was in an emotional space. And it's usually only when she's in that kind of emotional space when she does kind of try to reach out with this whole sympathy, empathy, let me cry and whine as much as I can to see how much of his energy I can extract from him. You know what I'm saying? But she hit me just out the blue, just, I'm just so overwhelmed over here. You know how my mom is. Like, her thing is she likes to put everything on her parents. But when she was with me, it was so many niggas in the picture. Like, I expect her to not mention any one of them, but I'm pretty sure that's probably what it was that was fucking with her, between whatever random guy she got in the picture now and her mom. But I've been past dealing with her on that kind of level. We haven't done anything since 2018, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I choose to keep it that way for a reason. But she hit me knowing that she could get a response from me. See, for me, I like to speak on the facts. Like, I address a lot of factual shit about my situation, my life, and my experiences. But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna walk around with like hatred in my heart. No, that just means that I know that you're opposition, and if you swing on me, I'm gonna take it as intentional, and I'm gonna swing to try to knock your motherfucking head off. Simple process, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's an enemy, and I don't like them, and I'm gonna run over there and hit them right now and just give them all the energy. Like, no, that's not how I operate. That's not how the natural flow of things operate. So even if I wanted to operate that way, that's not my belief system. The natural flow of things don't operate that way, you know. I just have an understanding that I could do that. But it's like, she called to be like, oh, okay. It was like this real fucking, I know how the coverts are. Been dealing with this shit for a long time. But even though this motherfucker's a piece of shit, right? In the spiritual realm, and as far as like being weak and signing up with the opposition, just in that manner. There's other things that I can name that's not a piece of shit, all right? But I'm just speaking as far as an oppositional standpoint. she do all of these things, and they will do all of these tactics to get your energy, right? But their goal and their objective is always the same, which is to fucking destroy you, you know? And if they can't destroy you, they're gonna try to take you down in the process. She don't have the same access to me to kind of work the same way anymore. So when she hit me with the, you know, my mom, and you're just the only one that understands me, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bitch, I don't want to hear that shit, but I'm just sitting here trying to listen like, okay, that's, you already know what you're going to have to go through. I'm giving her the re-spew, but trying not to dive into where she's at, right? Got off the phone with her. I even sent her some extra energy a couple hours later, because I know how these demonic beings are. They're really weak and they're really manipulative, but I'll always do my part, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, oh, it's a couple hours later, I'm like, well, let me just send some energy. Hey, sending you some high vibrations, you know, to kind of pick your day up. I don't have to do this shit, motherfucker, right? But this is what I do. So then my daughter switches and goes back to her mom's, and then her mom is clearly on the same demonic team, which I already understand. So when I reached out to hit my daughter, because my daughter liked to get on Roblox at the end of the night before she crashes. So sometimes I would get on with her from my space, so that way she can just we can hang out in the digital world together. The separation shit is a little difficult for us, but we manage in the best way we can with our week, right? So this is what I mean by when I say, like, oh, you're the only one that understands me, how it's just a manipulation tactic and they have to ride with their team. That's why I don't look at it as like, oh, I'm mad and I hate this bitch. Like, because I can see her in there. It's really weak, submissive. It was something about it that drew me to her in the beginning. But what happened was that was just a small portion. And the bigger picture is your belief system in the team and where you're getting your downloads from. But I had communicated with her to try to reach out to my daughter, and there was no response whatsoever, you know? And I just left a voicemail, not a voicemail, but a voice message, because my daughter, she's sick, I don't want her struggling and try to read or have to have her mom read the message. So I send a voice message, so that way if my daughter has the phone, she can click on it and hear it, or if her mom feels like it, she can play the damn message and let my mini hear it herself, you know what I'm saying? But she didn't do it, and I didn't get mad or frustrated. I just understood, because just 6 days later, before, you know, it was you calling saying, oh, you're the only one that understands me. Even though I only gave her 2-3 minutes of my time on the phone, I got to fuck off to go film. But it's the fact of that I've had other entities do the same thing, saying, oh, you're the only one that understands me, or you seem to understand me on a deeper level and all these other things. But you have to understand, if you did understand me, or if I did understand you on a deeper level, and you was with the greater good and cause of what's going on out here, right? We would have the best connection in the world. But because that's not the case, and there is a spiritual war going on, you're riding with the opposition, and that is not the case. That is not the case. So like, you really start to understand it's a war, and it's spiritually happening when you are engaging with people that you care about, used to care about, people that you live with, used to live with, and you can see how chaotic and witchy their cycles are. You know, if I'm saying that this person understands me better than anybody else, then it's no reason why I would be having any clashes with this being, you know, unless I'm just being extremely selfish and working around them understanding me on a much higher level, you know? These are all manipulation tactics that they use, like, and when I engage, and fellas, if you engage with the females, because they will pull on your heartstrings, I'm just speaking from a male standpoint, do not stare in their face, their eyes, when you are having that energy transform, because they're manipulating your energy in the spirit world by trying to seduce. Seducing is a form of manipulation, and that shit is demonic. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have to. If the way this war is set up, right? If you're gonna use a manipulation tactic, like, you have to trick somebody from doing something unhealthy into doing something extremely healthy. That's the only way the manipulation would work on a healthy standpoint and it not be demonic. So, like, if I trick somebody, or I trick my homeboy from not hitting this lick over here on this dude over here, and I tell him, you know, run me over here to the store, but really it's a place for me to, like, build and also show him something else. I just kind of tricked him out of his spiritual place of wanting to go rob this person over here to now he's over at this other store with me, and now he's kind of helping me come up with some merchandise ideas or something. I don't know. That's just a healthier form of shifting the manipulation process, you know what I'm saying? But that's really the only kind of way you would be able to use that in a healthy manner. Anything else outside of that is going to be extremely demonic, you know what I'm saying? And when you deal with these beings, you cannot hold their words for face value. Us, you can, because we choose our words very wisely. Like, when people try to do that, picking out my words or taking it how they want to take it, I'm not one of them witchy motherfuckers that communicate with you all in between the lines. No, I'm gonna communicate with you directly, and I'm gonna pick the words that I use appropriately. And if I choose something that doesn't feel right, I chose that word or that phrase saying for a reason. You know, some people is not gonna get the message if you don't hit their ass with it, you know? And even if you don't hit them with the whole message, you sprinkle out a few words out there, and then you hit them with something and sprinkle some random shit out there again. Trust me, there's ways to get the message out here when you've been doing this shit long enough, you know what I'm saying? But that little fucking saying about, oh, you know me better than anyone else knows me. Just know that they're using that information on the most demonic, witchiest standpoint, going against the natural flow of life that you can possibly use it and look at it as. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't want to run it up too long. You know what I'm saying? Just be mindful of these tactics that they are using out here. You do not hold their words for face value. You know what I'm saying? Everything is on a percentage scale. When they speaking, you put about 40% of their weight on their words. The rest of their percentage, just know that it's a high chance of it being bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.